Oilers Nation After Dark begins now.
Well, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't exactly how you drew it up, but it was a shutout for Stuart Skinner and the Edmonton Oilers. Nonetheless, first game of an Eastern road trip. First road win of the season as Edmonton handled their business at MSG, the most famous building in the world. Bang, Oilers get dubs in that building 4 in a row. And the Oilers, pinch me because I'm dreaming, they have grabbed 5 of a possible 6 points to start the NHL season. Baby, what year is this? What team are we? Hello and welcome to Oilers Nation After Dark. I'm your host, Bordzy. And ONAD is also a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today because whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365 this evening. Joined by Zach Laing, news director here at Oilers Nation. 5 p.m. early puck drop. It's not even 8 p.m. yet, and we're talking post-game Oilers W's. Once again, as I said, not exactly how you would draw it up. Don't go to Money Puck and look at the deserve to win-o-meter, but it's a win nonetheless. Zachary, vibe check. Yeah, hell yeah.
Good. I mean, of all
That's it. That's all I got.
Of all of the hockey games that I've watched in my lifetime in Bordzy, I've watched a lot of them. That was certainly one of them.
That was
certainly
one of them.
Not a pretty game, but the Oilers managed to eke it out. I thought the third period was probably the best period from the Oilers, but a huge performance from Stuart Skinner. I mean, a lot of big saves here in this one. Clearly was motivated, to come back and right the ship after what happened in game 1 of the season. In pre-gaming, I talked about Skinner doing well against the New York Rangers. And here we are. Stuart Skinner did well against the Rangers.
Somehow those numbers improved when they were already stellar coming into it. This game was the Stu game, and we're going to get into it. But first, let's get caught up in the chat, see what we got going on in here. Couple super chats. Reminder, all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, a cause very near, very dear to all of us here in the city. 10 grand last year. I saw people in the chat during the game said we're shooting for 20 grand this year. I love goal setting. Let's see what we can do. But Rusty's in $5. Where are my Stu haters at? Shout out for my boy LFG Oilers. It is a cup year. Brett, I said to you in game 1, I'm not going to do it for at least a couple months. Pretty sure I did it right after the first dub. Because it's a cup year.
It's a cup year. It's so catchy when you do it.
It is. I'll be the captain. $5. What a bounce back from Stu. We still doing cup years?
Cup year.
Yes, we are. Jeff Skinner's ghost, which I love that he's still in the chat. That's fantastic. I thought Stu wasn't allowed to play good. Yeah, I was told he was incapable. He was awesome tonight. Big Southpaw. Big saves by Stu. Number 1 fan, Two-Face Skinner. Harvey Stu, absolutely. Mackay and Dry. Bordzy, it is time. Thank you for understanding that, Zachary. The Anmark, I asked for 20 saves. Stuart Skinner gave me 30. Vinny, boys, what does that say? Stu. Felt good to be screaming that again, especially from the office. It was a good night. Felt like we're back. Donald Rogers, a tale of 2 Skinners early on in the season. I'm even going to push back on that because besides that third goal, which was awful against the Flames, Stuart Skinner was solid in that game against the Flames until that backbreaking error. Ryan S. Stu, shut up the haters tonight. Vasily put goals in. Love to see that name back in the chat again. You got to hand it to Stu. You can tell there's a theme in here, people, and it's Stuart Skinner. Hurting Oil Burton. PK tonight was okay. Stu made them look great. Then Jeff Skinner's ghost. Good point here. Is this the best start to a season we've ever had? Recent memory, definitely throughout pre-gaming and its existence. This is year 3. By far, not even close. This is the best it's ever gone. And then Cheryl said, well, hello, Mr. Skinner. Nice to see you again. Cadbury Mini Egg, $5. Stuart Skinner write-offs this season. 1. Already, Stuart Skinner writes back this season. 1. Dare I say, it is a cup year.
Cup year.
It is in parentheses. Then Mr. Burns, $20. Stuart Skinner apology form. I insert doubter's name here. Apologize for doubting Stu Skinner after only 1 game and forgetting that it is a cup year. Percy, not Jackson. $7.74. Nice. He says, hot Stu coming through. Stick taps. I demand haters to give Stu his flowers. 5 points in 3 games. Who are we? Looks like cup contenders to me. Play La Bamba, baby. We got to get our soundboard to actually know. We'll get copyrighted real fast. But Zachary, kick things off. We kind of mentioned this was the most start to an East Coast road trip game that you've ever seen before. This felt like a Saturday 10 a.m. matinee just on a Tuesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It was largely non-eventful. They deserved no winner meter. I'll save you the stress. It was over 85% in favor of the New York Rangers. But say it with me yet again, Stuart Skinner shutout. He was incredible. This game starts and ends with Stu. He was standing on his head to begin that hockey game. The Oilers look sloppy, turning pucks over in their own end. And Stu, front to back, book-ended that thing with some unbelievable saves. He was by far the best player on the ice tonight for the Oilers. He was by far the best penalty killer, which we'll get into a little bit later. New look Edmonton Oilers PK not looking so bad right now. Zachary, it's Stuart Skinner's world, and we're just living in it.
Yep, it is. Great game from him, man. Again, he really needed a bounce back performance. He delivered in a big way. Like, he kept the Oilers in that game all night long. It's not like the Rangers were super dangerous out there, but they had some good looks.
The Oilers gifted them some chances.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Saved by the bell a couple of times. Sam Carrick ran 1 or 2 off the post. So, he's just good enough to get the job done for the Oilers. So 99th career win, 8th shutout of his career.
Bert, you've been a part of the pre and post journey for a while. You know the Stuart Skinner highs and lows, peaks and valleys, ups and downs. That's why it feels so good on a night like tonight when he makes 30 saves on 30 shots. Absolutely perfect. Bert, what are your thoughts about Stu this evening?
I mean, we were talking about the deserve to win a meter today already.
It's just Stu's face for the Oilers. The 15% is just Stu.
Literally, that was exactly it. A lot of mistakes made by this team early on in the game that made him have to be ready to go early, especially first game of a road trip, first game in the first road trip of the season. Yeah, you're probably going to be sloppy and you're going to need your goaltender to be ready to correct some mistakes that your defense makes. That's what Stu Skinner was. It was so nice to see to bounce back from that first game there.
And Stuart Skinner, I don't know if you're new here, because yes, he has stinkers from time to time, but Stuart Skinner loves to bounce back. They showed some of the numbers on the Sportsnet broadcast last season. After a loss, he was 14-6-1, 224 goals against, 920 save percentage with 2 shutouts. Well, this season he's already got 1 already. Just feels good to see it for the local boy. Zachary, I turned to you at one point when Stu was making miraculous save after miraculous save, and I said, should I lose 15 pounds and would it positively impact my life like it is Stuart Skinner? Because he was moving well, looking exactly like the guy that was advertised this past summer. But Zach, I mentioned it kind of off the hop. Stuart Skinner, the best Oilers PKer tonight, without a doubt, the best Edmonton Oiler in general. But the Edmonton Oilers PK, they are perfect 3 for 3 this evening. They've been surprisingly good to start this season. They've only allowed 1 goal against, I believe, in 9 opportunities. Tonight, they were good. It was team commitment. A lot of guys getting in lanes. Rico blocking shots. Brett Kulak blocking shots. Ty Emberson. Brett, we might have to bring back the block shots bet because those boys were eating pucks.
Careful.
I don't want to get a tattoo, especially one as big as yours. But the Oilers PK was a large question mark, I would say, over the offseason heading into this year. Not only was it bad last season, it was bad in the NHL playoffs, but you lost guys like Connor Brown, who were a big part of that. Matthias Janmark's on the IR. But Zachary, only 3 games, only, I think, 9 opportunities, down a man. But so far, so good for the Oilers here.
Yeah, absolutely. You liked what you saw from the penalty kill tonight. Like, Savoy was looking good out there as well with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We were talking about that a little bit. Matthias Ekholm, big block late in the game there on the PK as well. Skinner was moving really well out there, getting into the lanes. Hey, maybe this goalie coach thing is working.
Whoa.
Was the chat right all along?
Who knows? We'll see. Obviously, a lot of season to go here, but yeah, some very encouraging signs overall from this Oilers team tonight. You talk about it feeling like an early morning game. It certainly did have that vibe out there, but they found a way to gut it out and get a big 2 points. And most importantly, they were able to keep the Rangers off the score sheet. Shutout now in 3 straight home games. The Rangers have been. That is a pretty tough look.
That's a tough way to start the year on home ice. The Rangers obviously now have played 5 games this season, more than most teams, I'd say, and it's been weird. They've been shut out how many times? They've also pitched a shutout on their own. But a really weird start to the year here for the New York Rangers. Also, Brad says a couple post saves tonight. I'm sure Stu owes a couple beers to those posts next to him as well. Sam Carrick. Where the hell was that as an Edmonton Oiler? It's shocking. He had 3 points in 4 games coming into the evening, and Zachary, he was ringing that puck.
Yeah, I don't know if he took a couple of shots of maple syrup before this game or what the hell the case was.
Yeah.
But boy, he was all over it.
Carrick Bros.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge game from him tonight. Like, he had a really good chance in the third period too that Skinner made a huge stop on as well. So kind of weird to say that Sam Carrick was the best Ranger out there on the ice tonight.
He was so noticeable out there on the ice tonight making some plays. But once again, Stu, you thank your post. That's a part of you as well. It's a part of the net. Hey, I'm number 1 fan, Sam Carrick revenge game. Hey, we love Sam Carrick. Let's do a shot of maple syrup at the end of the show. We'll get that. That'd be extra Canadian. Other one, just to mention before we get into the Greta scoring summary, you got to mention something about how sloppy that game was tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. Saw a lot of complaints online, even kind of on the broadcast, talking about bad ice quality and whatnot there. I don't know if that totally explains Darnell Nurse just falling over behind the net at one point. Brett, I'm pretty sure we have that clip maybe as well. It was a weird one, sloppy one for the Edmonton Oilers. And like I mentioned, to start that hockey game, Stuart Skinner made some 10 bell saves because there was 10 alarm turnovers in the Edmonton Oilers' own end. And I mean, give credit where credit's due. They were able to slowly nip that in the bud. But Zachary, that's something you cannot continue to have happen here on this Eastern Road swing. But I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm not really first game of that Eastern road trip. I know this team, they tend to do that from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of tough time adjusting to the time zone, it seemed like. I don't know if everybody was just a little bit, had the cobwebs going on from going out for dinner last night with the rookies. Who knows? A bit of a hangover game. It's always possible. But, again, it was just great to see them kind of gut it out. And I mean, if they can come out and win a game like this early on in this road trip, that's only going to help their confidence moving forward. Right. Going up against the Islanders on Thursday night, this is a team that the Oilers have at times struggled with over the last number of years, Sorokin. So I think the fact they're able to kind of gut this one out in a low scoring, ugly, greasy game where you need to rely on your goaltender should hopefully help them feel a little bit better. Right. Because if you lose this game at the start of this road trip, it's kind of like, oh boy, like we played like shit to start this road trip. Right. And yeah, okay, they played like shit to start the road trip, but they managed to gut out a W, and that is what you can kind of hang your hat on as a team.
It was a rock fight through and through. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. Stuart Skinner ends up being the most beautiful man in Madison Square Garden. Let's relive it all now. Only 1/2 highlights, I guess, in this one, but some Stu saves brought to you by Greta Bar Yag, my favorite spot in the entire city. Arcade, bar, street food. We are going to be back there Thursday night for our season kickoff party. It's a watch party. Come on down. All kinds of awesome deals. Free entry. Doors open at 4 p.m. Pre-gaming going live at 4:30 with puck drop at 5:30 against the New York Islanders. Me, Ty, Liam, Brett, the whole squad going to be down there at Greta. They got some awesome food deals, some drink deals, and we're going to be giving away a couple sick prizes involving one guy who's on the Oilers' top line tonight. Quick, pretty easy scoring summary here for the Oilers. It's kind of funny. Gets taken off of the top line with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and Trent Frederick gets on the board 5v5 with a partial breakaway, fighting off defenders. It was Kasperi Kapanen who chipped the puck up to him, made a beautiful pass, and Freddie, that's the Freddie I was sold on when we acquired him last year before the deadline. Just a beautiful play, using his body, using his size to fight off the defender, and then sneaks it 5-hole past Igor Shesterkin. Thing of beauty from Freddie. Nice to see. There's always going to be And we're 2 games into the season. He was on the top line, gets taken off the top line. It's awesome to see him respond this way and still produce without 97 or 29. Maybe the pressure's just too much. Who knows?
Listen, it's kind of funny you mentioned that. I wrote about this last year. There was a March road trip the Oilers had, like this Eastern swing road trip. And, Jeff Skinner, Victor Arvidsson, they were getting looks in the top 6. It wasn't quite working out. And I'll never forget the quote that Chris Noblaw had. And I'm kind of paraphrasing it here a little bit, but he kind of said something along the lines of like, a lot of times what happens is that these guys get up and play alongside McDavid and Draisaitl on that top line or in that top 6, and they get away from their own game, right? They kind of get in their own heads and think, wow, I'm playing with McDavid and Draisaitl.
I'd constantly defer.
Yeah, exactly. You they're not playing their own game. And Nobla said, like, whenever these people who kind of slide up the lineup play their own kind of game alongside them, that's when they have success. And it's what Zach Hyman has done so well. And it's why he has been staple to McDavid for, 3-4 years now, the way that it's been, right? So, for Frederic to kind of get bumped down the lineup here and score this goal, I mean, this is great to see. This is exactly what you want to see from Trent Frederic, right? He's not going to go score you 82 points or anything like that. But if he can find a way to chip in 45, 50 points this season, 15, 20 goals or something like that, that's going to be huge for this team. So hopefully this is a bit of a confidence boost for him.
Especially that type of goal as well, right? Because when you think Trent Frederic, you think big guy, stuck in the blue paint, battling in tight, going off his shin pad, getting a rebound, but the ability to get open, to be sprung, to fight off the defender. And then let me remind you that Igor Shesterkin's been insane so far this season. And Freddie, Swiss cheese, brother, goes through the 5-hole thing of beauty. I see Matthias Janmark, his teammate. I like Freddie on his own line. Mackay and Dry points out it was the Pods, Captain, and Freddie, the grittiest line. Now, we know, Nobby, game 3 of the year, you knew that blender was coming out at some point, but I did like what I saw. And then Ryan S., Freddie should stay off the top line. I do think, hey, there's underlying numbers to support that in game 1 and 2, Freddie's done some good things with Connor and Leon. I do just think his style of play is much more bottom 6 type player. That's the nicest way I can really say that PG wise, I guess. Other than that, the Edmonton Oilers grabbed that 1-0 lead, and it was just a rock fight from there on out. Adam Henrique is able to score the empty netter, his first of the season, assisted by McDavid and one Andrew Mangiapane. So 3 games, 3 points, on pace for 82 there for the bread man, Andrew Mangiapane. There was just a lot of good Stuart Skinner saves throughout this one. The highlights, little thin, I guess you could say, throughout it, because it was the rock fight, like I mentioned. But Zachary, the Oilers scored another empty net goal. Who is this team? They did it the other night. They did it tonight. They have been cursed for what feels like a very long time. Tyler Remchuk, great article on the website where he kind of detailed, do you think the Oilers suck at empty netters? No, they actually do, and here's the numbers to support it. But we're back, baby.
I think Tyler needs to go write an article about how the Oilers' power play is sucking to start the season, and maybe that'll jumpstart the power play. Not that the Oilers got any man advantages tonight, which I thought was kind of a weird thing, right? Because, I thought there was a couple of moments where it was going to happen, and funny enough, there was like 4 minutes left in the game. I was like, boys, Oilers are due for a power play here. And then, empty net, get the goal there. So, special teams looked good out there tonight, which was nice to see, especially that penalty kill.
A little bit of everything. We're happy with it all as the Edmonton Oilers defeat the New York Rangers 2-0 at Madison Square Garden. Stuart Skinner, 30 shots, 30 saves for his first shutout of the NHL season, while on the other side, Igor Shesterkin stopped 20 of 21. He was still very dialed in throughout this game, but Stuart Skinner comes away the victor. Let's go now. Let's do our good, bad, and oily, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. Download their app today. You can get it the Google Play Store or the App Store. Once you sign up, you can get all kinds of rewards, all kinds of points. Keep it locked on the app, because Oodle Noodle, they got deals galore. They had some beauties going on this summer, and they will all season long. Boys, it was our first in studio of the season. Hand up accountability. I'm sorry we didn't get any Oodle Noodle. I probably should have done that. Pull the trigger. I owe you one.
Thank you.
There you go. Accountability. I can't wait for the first Oodle Noodle late night post game. Couple green onion cakes, spring rolls. The reason I didn't was because I ordered Oodle Noodle on Sunday when I didn't leave my basement for 10 consecutive hours, something like that.
Put in a shift.
When football starts at 7:30 in the morning, it's just dude, you just keep on going. There's no
do?
reason to stop. Let's kick it off here with the good this evening. I think you might know what the good is. The great, the Stuart Skinner in this one. He was unbelievable. 30 saves, 30 shots. We've touched on it a lot, but he was the Oilers' best player tonight thoroughly. And it's just a beautiful sight to see for a man who's really gone through the mud with the squad. And it's tough, right? You couldn't ask for a shittier start to the season for Stuart Skinner. I mean, the first couple periods looked good against the Flames. Try so hard this summer. We know the new goalie coach. We know he lost all this weight throughout the offseason. Plays well. Then that mistake happens, and you know that everyone in Edmonton is just going to focus on that. And it's understandable. We've seen these mistakes a lot. It's beautiful to see him bounce back on the road against a good offensive team like the New York Rangers. Stuart Skinner, hey, it's going to be an up and down season. We know it. We've all seen it before. But when he plays well, we need to acknowledge it, give him his flowers. Stu, you drop this, your crown.
Yeah, that was a big one. Looked like he did in his rookie season, right?
Oh, all right. Oh, no, Brett.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
The clip is ruined.
Sorry, Stu. There you go. I love how many props we have just laying around.
It's like, what are you reaching for? Oh, yeah, look at that. There we go.
The answer belt somewhere else up here as well.
It's somewhere. It's going to be around here. But, he looked like he did in his rookie season. Like, he was a really good rookie goaltender. Finished second in Calder voting. He was named to the all-rookie team. But, hey, if you take a look at Stuart Skinner's numbers on the year here, 942 save percentage, 1.44 goals against average. Seems pretty good to me. Certainly made up for the performance in game one. And you know what? Even in game one, I didn't even think he was that bad.
No, it was just a one, but that's the issue that it always happens. I get it.
Of course. And I get it too, right? But, the other two goals, they're weird deflections that kind of get tipped in. And then it's a shootout where it's effectively.
And it went 8 rounds in the shootout. So he gave you plenty of chances.
I thought he was fine in that game, right? So to see him bounce back with a really good performance here tonight was really, really great to see. Got bailed out by the post a little bit, but hey, that's all he gave the shooters.
Part of the net.
That's all he gave the shooters.
I would prefer a goaltender who lets in that odd shaky goal once in a while and still wins 30, 35 games than having a Lamborghini in a crack house like Askarov and the Sharks. You're still winning hockey games and it doesn't really matter.
It's true. The Edmonton Oilers are not a crack house, so that is nice to think about. Let's go. That's positive. And once again, that we're talking about the last game against the Flames. That was then. This is now. And we're basking in a Stuart Skinner shutout. With good comes bad. Don't really want to harp on any negatives, but it's what we touched off the top. Sloppy turnovers, especially in the Edmonton Oilers' own end. We watched Darnell Nurse I told Brett if he could grab the clip to put the clown music over top of it. In joking there, obviously, but there was a couple moments when you had Stuart Skinner not bailed out his team there. You would have been pretty angry at some of those Oilers defenders and forwards. Sloppy play. I know some people were blaming the ice. I don't know. I'm not there. I have no idea. Once again, that doesn't totally explain Darnell Nurse falling over. The sloppy play. But once again, Zach, for a game that's 85% that deserved a win-o-meter in favor of the Rangers, I'm going to say the bad's the sloppy play. And then is there anything else you can think of for bad tonight?
No, I think that was really it.
I know, right? And that's what feels weird about the 85% in favor of the Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Bordzy, I'm just going to show you this here, Brett. Maybe you could pull it up on my Twitter page. I made a little meme.
Oh my God, pull that up.
Yeah.
This guy's been in his bag tonight, memes, tweet wise. Zach, good to have you back. We're back.
Oh, it feels good to be back.
Yeah,
the deserve meter says 85% for the New York Rangers, but as far as I'm concerned, 15% of the time it works 100% of the time. But sloppy play, obviously that was it. Turnovers, you didn't really like to see that. I think the biggest thing for me, there just wasn't a whole lot of juice, right?
Yeah.
Especially in those first two periods. We were sitting there halfway through the game and the shots were 9-8 for the Edmonton Oilers. And it was my God, somebody just do something, please, right? Because it was just nothing going on offensively, defensively. It was chipping pucks in. It was, nobody was laying the body, Again, let's get this out of the system here and let's, move forward with the rest of this road trip, right? Because this is an important time of year. Especially getting a chance to go on a 5-game swing like this where you're gone for a week and a half, like the Edmonton Oilers are going to be here. Good bonding time, right? Bring the team together for a little early road trip. You go for dinner with the boys last night.
You're downtown Big Apple after a big dub. Stuart Skinner shutout.
Exactly, right? You win one at MSG. Now you're off to 4 other arenas that are not MSG.
Yeah, the Barclays Center. There it is, the meme. Shout out, Zachary. That 15% is all Stuart Skinner tonight, and I don't think many are going to disagree with that, Zachary. That's beautiful work right there. I'm proud of you. Brett, got a question in here for you that I'm going to give to you. Matthias Janmark asked, who gets the jeans tonight? Who's wearing the jeans? That's something, if you're new here, I don't even know how we came up with it. We come with a lot of dumb shit on this show, but it was basically the jeans are awarded for who looked so basic uncomfortable that they were wearing jeans under their equipment.
Yeah.
Brett, who wore the jeans?
It was Coombsy saying that it looked like Matthias Janmark looked like a guy who they plucked out of the stands just wearing jeans. So that's where that came from. The jeans tonight, good question, because I really don't think there were a bunch of guys that were kind of lagging the play or anything like that. So I'm going to say my jeans was Sam Carrick not being able to put in that type of performance in an Oilers uniform. Where the fuck was that ever, Sam? That was pretty cool. Remember that one time you fought Matthew Olivier in your debut and then just nothing after that? But I'm actually not. I shouldn't hate on Sam Carrick. I really like
Go
Sam
get the
Carrick.
syrup. Go get the syrup.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, Match Sports is in, Zach. He says, Zach is so handsome. Not the first time I've heard that. So the bad, it's a sloppy play. But the good this evening is an Oilers W. So we move along. With good comes bad. With bad comes oily. And we went with Jack Roslovic, Edmonton Oilers debut. I thought he showed some flashes. He is, as advertised, very speedy with the puck. I thought he was making some quick decisions. Had an excellent feed to Troy Stetcher, I believe it was, in the offensive zone in the slot. He made good passes on both ends of the ice. I did think defensively in his own end, it's those quick touch passes going this way, sending the puck the other way along the boards, and then using his speed to try and work it back up the ice. I thought he fit in pretty well with Edmonton's skilled players. Once again, it's one game. We'll continue to see what he can build on, but he found open space in the O-zone. I bet on him for 2 shots on goal in this hockey game, and sadly, he had 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points, 0 shots, 0 blocks, 0 hits, 0 giveaways, 0 takeaways. Do you know he was out there? What'd you think of Jack Roslovic's debut?
Well, he didn't even have a shot attempt, which also wasn't necessarily the
boss.
greatest.
No, I'm kidding.
And no, and I mean, listen, it's the first game of the year for him.
I saw some good. I saw some good moments.
Yeah, absolutely. There was one play in the first period where he helped create a scoring chance offensively. The Oilers weren't able to capitalize on. I think he's going to need some time to shake off the rust here, right? So, hopefully by November 1st, that really interesting date, that's a couple of weeks away, got a bit of a better idea of where he kind of fits into this team. But I thought it was fine with the performance from game one. You can sit and look at the underlying numbers and be like, oh yeah, he had the worst, shot attempt share and the worst expected goal share of any of the Oilers forwards. But, what's the point in that? Again, it's the first game of the year for him, right? So, shake off that rust. Let's see what he can do moving forward.
I was told he was fast, and he still looked very fast. So I like that. Roslovic, let me know in the chat what'd you think about him. Only one game, temper your expectations, but he does. It's such a nice problem to have, this amount of winger talent for the Edmonton Oilers. I can't remember the Oilers having such an embarrassment of riches. The cupboards are more full than they have ever been before. And actually, Zachary, you can probably explain it better than me. Just one more time for the After Dark viewers, in case they weren't on pre-gaming, they didn't see on ONE before. Can you explain this November 1st thing for Jack Roslovic and the ties to Zachary Martin Hyman?
Yeah, so Jack Roslovic, 1 year, $1.5 million contract. It comes with a no movement clause throughout the entirety of this season. However, on November 1st, he's able to submit a 4-team approved trade list. So effectively what that means is if things aren't working out here in Edmonton, he can go to the Oilers and say, hey, trade me to one of these 4 places. Now, what's interesting about the November 1st date is that, well, that's the day that Zachary Martin Hyman can be activated off of the long-term injured reserve. So, if there's a situation where November 1st rolls around or early November rolls around and maybe he's not getting the opportunity that he thought he was going to be getting in the top 6, or it's not quite working out for him, there is that option for the Oilers to trade him away. I really like it. I mean, there's a lot of people online that were like, oh, another no movement clause. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. I mean, they're not as restrictive as people really kind of make them out to be. They're there to just give the player a little bit of sense of security and reassurance that, in Roslovic's case, the Oilers aren't just going to be like, oh, all right, kiddo, you're down to the American Hockey League. Here you go. We don't want that to happen. He's an NHL player. He's on the NHL team. He'll be on the Oilers, and if not here, then with another NHL.
Absolutely. This one made me laugh way too much. Jeff Skinner's ghost. Zeros across the board. That's my kind of stat line. Also, Mikhail Dry said Tony Snell numbers. You guys are on fire right now. The guy just out there doing cardio. Tony Snell, not Jack Roslovic. Buff Snelda. Roz looked good. Bob Stafford. Yeah, Roz is a boss. He's got to stay fast and confident. And then Yanmark, November 1st is in like 2 weeks. Yeah, it is, brother. Yeah, it is. We're going on a nation vacation. What, not this weekend? Either in 2 weeks or something like that. I'm going to the Dominican Republic at the beginning of November for a wedding. 7 days. I'm the MC, Anna Groomsman.
Don't forget the sunscreen.
Oh, I'm going to be red as a tomato. I'm going to be sleeping in the sun. Bert, you have anything on Roslovic?
No, I like the way he played. He added, again, some speed. He had some nice passes along the boards here and there to the middle. What I was going to say, though, is I know who has my genes, and mostly because I'm kind of just worked up the balls to say it. And it's not really an amendment on the player at all, but I'd probably say Isaac Howard. Wasn't a big fan of his game. There were a couple of times where he looked like he wasn't in the right spot or a little bit behind. And I just literally just a half step behind. And I think this is his third game and his first game away from home, a little bit different in comfortability, everything like that. So little bit behind, not a good game for a guy who's fighting for a spot when everybody gets healthy. So I'm going for my genes with Ike Howard. And again, not to rag on the guy at all. I understand why.
Mikhail Dry said, that's the nickname, Boslovic. There it is. Yep, we're creating a couple of them. Some people asking about Zachary Martin Hyman. Also, somebody's yelling, "Da Yankees lose." Da Rangers lose. Let's go now to our hot and cold performers, brought to you by Swiss Donair, baby. Shout out to them, Zachary. I know you're a Donair man, and Swiss Donair has been home of the old school Donair with options. If you want some flair, open for 25 years and now open 7 days a week. It's the pride of the North Side. Swiss Donair is great for your events at home or office. Check out their location at 8308 144 Ave Northwest or order online at swissdonair.com. That's when we got to start getting on. Got to start getting Swiss Donairs over here during pre and post games as well.
Yeah.
A couple Donskis while we're going.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a good year, folks. It's going to be a good year, liking the sponsors that are on pre and post this season. Chat, you know the drill. Throwing you hot, throwing you cold. Zachary, we're done with boom and doom. Costco guys were last year. We're moving along. We're done with those guys. Throw them in the chat. Who do you think was hot? Who do you think was cold? Zachary, I'll give you the easiest layup in the existence of hot and cold performer layups. Who's your hot performer?
Stu.
What? I mean, we've touched on it a lot, but it's his world, and we're just living in it. Other hot performers, Bert, you got anything else for a hot?
Yeah, I do. I'm going with Adam Henrique. Gets obviously it's the empty net goal, but just kind of get gifted with the goal really on the stat sheet for a really solid game. Blocked some hard shots. Just a guy who was all over the ice. Got some time with 97 and 29, and has really been leading some of the new guys as well, like Savoy, like Howard, like Tomaszek. He's just been a really strong leader so far this year. I think he's had a really strong start of the year away from the puck, and now being able to get credited with a goal and what's the word I'm looking for? Not celebrated, but just be able to get that goal and have that on your sheet for a very strong start to the season. I think Henrique has been fantastic.
Yeah, he has been. I liked his game tonight. For me, once again, it's Stuart Skinner And then it's everybody else down here. But if I had to pick, I think I'm going to go Kasperi Cheeks Kapanen in this hockey game. He got the apple on the Trent Frederick goal, making a play, extending the lead pass, having Freddie go and skate into it. And Kapanen had a shot. He had 3 hits. And there was one specific play where Kapanen was shot out of a cannon, back checking into his own defensive end. The Rangers had an odd man rush going the Oilers' end, and he came in with a little whoop, stick lift, took the puck, went back the other way, and that's the kind of stuff that we know Kasperi Kapanen's fast. We know he can play an offensive style of game. We know Nobby. If you're going to be in the lineup, you got to be committed defensively, and those are the type of plays that are going to keep you in the lineup, especially as we have your Janmark's coming back, your Jack Roslovic's now in here, so on and so forth. I like that game from Kasperi Kapanen. Hopefully he can build on it, because maybe the first 2 games I couldn't say he was the most noticeable, but I liked his game tonight. Zachary, with hot comes icy cold. You ever seen the icy hot patch from Shaq? Well, we're going to the cold stretch right now. Who's a cold performer?
Brett kind of mentioned Ike Howard. I think that's an okay one there. Not really a whole lot kind of happening with him out there on the ice. Played a team low 7:30 tonight. Not getting much ice time, not getting much opportunity. Kind of have to wonder if maybe he does get sent down to the American Hockey League, solely for the fact of just giving him a chance to play, just getting a chance to play pro games. He can go down there, play 20 minutes a night, 18 minutes a night for the Condors. I wonder if it's something they really look at here.
See, I think it's the comparable to, you look at Ike Howard, you look at Matt Savoy. Savoy looks more comfortable. He looks to be in the right spots. He doesn't look to be overwhelmed. And I think that is a year playing pro hockey in the AHL last season. Maybe Ike Howard, maybe not an entire season or anything like that, but I do think he could benefit, obviously, from being down there playing some serious minutes in some serious situations. By the way, who knows? For a cold performer, for me, it's kind of tough, right? We mentioned this guy earlier because he played the least, I believe you said 5v5, but it was Tommy Smokes, David Tomasek. Once again, I don't think he was a cold performer. He had 2 shots on goal. He played 10-42, but that includes, obviously, some power play time out there as well. Bert, you might be the new resident Tommy Smokes guy. What'd you think about him tonight? He's not my cold. I'm just asking.
No, I think he played well. I think there were a couple chances early in the game where just driving to the net, you can tell, that is a man driving to the net, just taking it right to the pill or right to the hoop and just fucking taking it. I like him. You know what? I really like him. I get that you have to say that he's a cold because really there isn't much. So, yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying he's lukewarm. I'm not willing to say that he was cold tonight, but I'll say lukewarm. For me, cold performers, I will go with the cop-out. I'm going to go with JT Miller because I barely noticed him out there. He did have a chance in the front of the net at one point. Stuart Skinner robbed his ass, but I've always been a JT Miller hater, so it does feel good to have some of that blood boiling up again, watching him out there on the ice. I guess cold performers. Some people are saying Connor and Leon in here to some degree. I guess that they didn't have to do everything tonight.
I'm sorry, I cannot stop laughing at the chat saying Gian Draisaitl.
Yeah, the
Jeans. That is so funny. That is so funny.
I did also want to say, instead of a cold, kind of a Rangers hot, I would say, I liked Matt Rempe's game tonight. I know a lot of it was just dump the puck in at the red line or at the blue line and just go and hit somebody. But he was noticeable without having to do something stupid.
I think Zach has to sneeze.
Oh no.
Rempe, his game's pretty elementary, pretty is what it is at this.
He looks like he's wearing jeans.
He looks like he's wearing jeans. He's wearing full denim going on under there. Quickly.
Not even a nice pair of denim, a brand new pair of denim that you're still breaking in, right? Yeah,
he's wearing True Religions under there.
He's got True Religions on. They're still really tight. Hate jeans like that.
The other things, I guess. Let's go now. So that'll do it for your hot and cold performers. See some people in here. South Plus says Rempe's in coveralls. He's wearing overalls. Yeah, just straight buttoned all the way down. I love that we bring back the jeans and you guys remember the jeans. Let's do it. Let's do Bordzy's Bankroll, brought to you by Bet365. Download their app today and get in on the moment. Whatever it is, it's never ordinary. Use the code NATION and you can bet on a huge range of markets. They're a proud partner of Oilers Nation After Dark and Bordzy's Bankroll. Take a peek here. It's a good night. I was really looking for the parlay juice together, but we did get 2 out of 3. Your first leg, the only one that didn't hit was Jack Roslovic, number 28, 2+ goals, -115. And as I mentioned, Tony Snell's stat line, because he didn't have any hits, didn't have any shots. But once again, I thought he was noticeable enough, but that's on me for trying to bet on the new guy. My thought process was, if you don't know anyone out there that well, never a bad idea to shoot the puck. He didn't subscribe to that MO. The next one, Breadman looking great. And I'm going to say the words great. It's crazy after last year. We hyped up Jeff Skinner. We hyped up Victor Arvidsson. And I thoroughly feel like this year, Andrew Mangiapane was so under the radar. We didn't really talk about him at all in August, barely in the preseason. Here he is, 3 games, 3 points, 1+ point, +140. That one cashes. And then Tommy Smokes, David Tomasek, 2+ goals, -140. That one hit. So we got a +140, got a -140. But the -115 didn't let me hit it. So still haven't gone 3 for 3 in 3 games here, but we're fighting hard. Couple 2 out of 3s. We're getting closer. Jeff Skinner, Bordzy, I was worth the hype, don't you think? No, I do not really. Zachary, did you make any money on Bet365 this evening? Who did we were going to bet on Tommy Smokes. That one didn't happen.
Yeah, I bet him on the shot prop, though, so that ended up working out well for me. But that was about the only thing that worked well.
Brett, any money on Bet365? Nope. Responsibly, of course?
Nah.
And also, just checking in around other sports. Dodgers score update? What are we at?
3-1 Dodgers, baby. Let's go Dodgers. How about them Dodgers? Let's go Dodgers.
It's tough.
4-1 Dodgers.
It keeps getting even worse. Nakai and Dry said, I miss Spider, Brett. So Spider, if you're new here, once again, responsibly, is an 8-leg parlay. It's got 8 legs. Yeah. Last year, Brett, he was throwing down some good spiders from time to time.
Maybe soon.
Maybe on Thursday. Maybe a Greta for the watch party.
Yeah, like I said. Like
you got to feel it in your cubes. Like you said.
College football kicked me down on Saturday, so it was a bit of a bounce back. And then, Sunday was fine for me, though.
You're being called a bandwagoner in the chat as well.
That's fine. Oh, yep. That's from Peyton.
Yeah, I know.
Like, grow up.
I know what I'm doing. Final one. Once again, give a quick shout out to a Wilhock beef jerky. Only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet Wilhock name, made from a 100% pure Alberta beef. Their jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. They gladly fill orders of any size, and you can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc location. Or for more information, head on over to WilhockBeefJerky.com to get your jerky on. So any final random thoughts I have here? Zachary, game 3, were you surprised that the line blender was broken out that much? So we saw it late in the second period. Edmonton kind of switched up a little bit of everything. Freddie was back with McDavid and Mangiapane, and then Leon Draisaitl was playing with Podkolzin and Kapanen. And then in the third period, they even switched it up one more time. It was Tomasek, McDavid, Mangiapane, Nuge, Dry, Roslovic, which that trio does excite me, but they seem pretty committed to playing Nuge as a centerman. What'd you think about Nobby and the line blender this evening?
Yeah, I kind of knew it was going to be coming.
Get used to it is what I'd say.
Right? Like, I mean, it's no surprise that he loves to blend it up. So, I'm fine with it. Like, the Oilers needed to find some offense. They weren't really getting anything going there. So for me, I've got no issue with it. I mean, hey, listen, it's still early on in the year. Let's get some looks of these different guys together and see what kind of fits and what doesn't. I also thought it was an opportunity to get a look of Jack Roslovic next to a couple of different guys as well. Not, again, that there was a whole lot going on there, but I thought it was an interesting move nonetheless.
Bert, what about you? Anything else? Any final thoughts? Line blender? Dude, like I said, this is going to happen all season. I thought it was hilarious that we talked throughout preseason. Nobby was like, we're going to give it to Connor and Leon go, and it's going to be with Freddie. And then they asked Leon Draisaitl at one point before or after practice, and he was so just candid and straight up with it. And he was like, man, we're going to play together. We're not going to play together. Don't you guys know this by now? So the line blender, the least surprising part about this night. I guess Andrew Mangiapane, top line, that's sticking.
Hey, bada boom, bada bing.
Manja. Hey, bada boom, bada bing. That's Eastside Mario's, right? Is that what that is? Yeah. Shout out to them. No sponsor. Guess that is a free ad. Damn it. I'll get my check in the mail. Final ones, just checking out here in the chats. Final D Pal, did we get this one in? He said $13.99 new Stu from now on. Stuart Stalwart Skinner. I mean, that's a lot of alliteration, and I am a big alliteration kind of guy. And then finally, Bob Stofford again. Carrick, Trent Frederick are prime examples that there's levels to this shit. The Oilers are deep. Also, I gave my sports net to Austin tonight so he could tune in for the cause. That's chat helping out chat, family members. You can't have my sports net. But I love you all, Zachary. You especially, Brett. You as well. We'll be live again, of course, tomorrow, 12:01 Mountain Standard Time for Oilers Nation every day, I believe. I got the text during the show. Jeff Merrick, David Pagnota, both going to be on tomorrow's Oilers Nation every day. So hopefully that'll be a good one. And then I do have one final note. Maybe we can hang out for a couple minutes here on the end. We've got a new episode of Ask Doobie that we're going to be doing a little bit later on this week. And I was told to ask if you guys had some questions for the ex-NHL netminder, the Oilers legend, and kind of my new best friend after the playoffs. Doobie is the absolute man. There's nothing too ridiculous you cannot ask the guy. So feel free. Comment on this video. If you have any questions you'd like, you can tweet Oilers Nation, whatever. You can DM me. But it's always nice being able to pick the brain of Devin Dubnyk, especially after games like Stuart Skinner on the Wednesday night season opener. We love having Dubes around here, and I always want to let people know that we have the encyclopedia of knowledge in Dubes on his own show once a week here, where you could ask him serious questions about the NHL and the Edmonton Oilers. Also, shout out to our boy Reese, because he produces that bad boy.
Shout out Reese.
Who was here late.
Yeah, he was.
He was here late. I went upstairs to use the washroom upstairs, and I was kind of startled when I saw him. And yeah, working away.
He's grinding. He's grinding because he's going to be taking over some new things in a couple weeks, if not months, kind of dealio. He works hard. Good boy. Reese, I know you're watching. I love you. I appreciate you. Everybody throw down your questions for Doobie in the comments if you got one. Let's have a good night, everybody. Stuart Skinner shutout. Feels good to say again. Instead of Stuart Stalwart Skinner, it's Stuart Skinner shutout. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. There it is. Manja, 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 manja.
Nailed it.
Love you all. Appreciate you all. We'll be live pre-gaming again once, of course, on Thursday at Greta Barrieg, 4:30 p.m. On that note, it's been a long day here at the office. Can't wait to go home, boys. Dubs on dubs on dubs. Great work. Appreciate you all. And we will talk again on Thursday. Good night, everybody.